Yeah. And I think, we've had a lovely little initiation into embodying the work that we do, right? Over the last couple of days. Should we just dive straight into that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how far back do we want to go? Do I want to tell the story of my dad situation, being guided?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. So a friend of ours, jockey boy, a friend of ours was telling me a story about how she was talking to her dad who passed away 10 years ago and asking for a sign, and I thought, it was a really cool story, and I thought, that's cool, I want to play with that a bit too. So I decided that I was going to ask my dad, who passed away 18 months ago, no, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I had some clarity around something. If I do X, will I be okay? And if tell me something, a signal, give me a sign. And what came through for me was the word Ruby. And his dog, his favourite dog, he's a dog trailer farmer, was called Ruby. So I was like, that's really cool. That's like not something super common, something that's unique to him, whatever. Kind of released it, let it go. Got to the end of the day, put my kids to bed, went to have a nice little cheeky doom scroll on Instagram, and the first thing that pops up was somebody whose story I don't really see their content all that often at all. Anyway, it was a birthday cake for their daughter, and her name was Ruby, and it was like, Ruby's birthday cake, and I was like, holy shit, like I just burst into tears. Couldn't believe it, like what the hell. I just felt so, it was almost like, maybe that was just a coincidence too, like part of it was like that. So anyway, the next day I thought, okay, I'm going to ask for like a little bit more clarity around this specific thing. And so I asked again, Dad, if I make this certain move, is it going to be okay? And this is like something big that I've kind of been toying with for a little while. And if it is, show me a sign. And again, I didn't come up with the sign. I just sat quietly, like in meditation, asking what that was. And I got a sandcastle. And I'm like, okay, you're going to show me a sandcastle. Like, this is actually getting kind of crazy now, whatever. So again, fully released it, carried on through my day, got to about lunchtime, I was having lunch with Scott at the kitchen bench, and mid-conversation, I look down at the table, and here is one of Harry's exercise books from school, and on the back of it is a fucking sandcastle. And I just, again, lost it. But even more this time, because I'm like, 2 days in a row, like, are you kidding me? Like, what the hell?
Too much evidence.
Too much evidence, like, unbelievable. So anyway, I decided to do the thing, which is getting support with another coach to business coaching, basically, and went and did consume some of her content, and straight away, like, got all of these feelings of like, fuck, like, what am I doing? Who am I here to serve? How does it work? Like, Charlie and I have been doing this work together for a couple of years now, and it really just started to like bring up some big question marks around what we're doing and who am I serving, and like all of it, which was so uncomfortable. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, like, I didn't want that to come up. It just did. And so what's been so amazing is from where I was a couple of years ago to where I am now, I would have just sat in that. Like, I wouldn't have been able to bring it to you. I probably wouldn't have even been able to really honor it for myself, because I'm like, oh my God, what's that going to mean? Like, I'm going to upset Charlie. Like, what is that? Yeah, what is it? What's going to happen? Like, all of this shit. And so I would have just sat with it, let it consume me, pretend like everything's okay, carry on, but feeling like something's off, not feeling right. And so I was so proud of myself, because I knew that, yes, it's uncomfortable. No, it's not really ideal. I have no idea what the full meaning of this is, or like what I want to happen, but this is what is true for me right now. And so I came to Charlie the next day and said, hey, like, this is what's going on. And of course, that's my part of the story. But it it not opened up Pandora's box, but it was like, it's an opportunity for us to really embody the work that we do. For one, being able to hear my truth, honor it for myself, and then being brave enough to share and trust that whatever is here and coming up is for a reason. And just, I don't actually know what that is right now, and it doesn't feel really great, but here it is.
Yeah, I think. And so then, my experience of that then was to go into full analysis mode, right? Like, it was like, it's a determined outcome. like, I'm going to have to, like, face all of these facts. It was suddenly like, oh, but am I going to be able to be a coach without Ash? Or what would I, you know, like, and it's so interesting when you are able to sit with some inquiry, right? Like, it was like, oh, hang on. There's quite a bit in here for me to unpack, because it's one thing to be like, oh, we're in partnership and it's cruisy and we do our own thing too. And like, you know, and then to then really sit with the outcome that like, oh, maybe I'm going to just be doing this myself. Right. And it was like, yeah, I had the full roller coaster of emotions around it too. And I guess what it unlocked for me was it enabled me to, I guess, unhook some misunderstandings, right? Because that's what they are. Like, essentially, they're stories that we create where it's like, oh, well, you know, I need Ash to be able to be a good coach. And I was like, oh, interesting. So there's like a need there, and there was a bit of an obligation one as well, right? I've committed to doing this partnership, so then I'm obligated to stay in it. And like, that's another really interesting piece to kind of like really investigate and go, where am I? And like, what is that? And so I guess the experience for me helped me to clear some things up, right? Like, because sometimes we can't quite put our finger on it, but there's something that doesn't feel good, or something that we're struggling with. And I think the more you do this kind of work, this inquiry into what's really happening here for me, what am I, like what's being offered up, I guess, and where's the learning in this, and what's that, the deeper you go. I think you like to say new level, new devil. And
new level, same devil.
Same devil.
Yeah.
I'm always like, yeah. I'm like, really? Yeah. And until you, I guess, are prepared to sit and look at something, it kind of just keeps whirling back around at you. And I think what I got to experience over the weekend was like to stare down the barrel of like what my little comfort zone had become, and what I had begun to assume about that comfort zone. And suddenly it was like, haha, the comfort zone might not be there anymore. And it was like, okay, well, faced with that, what would I do? And what does that feel like? And yeah, I mean, it's funny because for me, it's never what I think it's going to be. My mind will take me to all of the worst case scenarios and negativity. I've got a very strong negative bias around how things are going to turn out badly. And yeah, it was really a powerful experience of being able to, and then to release a bunch of it, because to do the inquiry about, is that really true? No, it's not. Okay. And like slowly peel back some of this to release it, and then kind of find a place of peace and freedom. And it was like, oh, I remember this, because that's how it was when we first started, right? It was like, it was exciting, and it's like, and what a blessing, because it's like, actually I've untangled myself from a bunch of things that were probably holding me down and affecting the vibe of the thing. And like, yeah, it feels lighter, and it's like almost jovial. Like, it's kind of funny to be like, oh, so that's where my mind had taken me, and that was what was going on.
Yeah, the whole thing was blowing up. Like, we were breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny too, because what I realized in the moment when I was like, fuck, I really don't want to own this, because what is it going to mean, and all the things. And then like what I knew from my past experience with owning my truth is that by me thinking that I thought I would keep you more comfortable by not owning it, and that that would be what's best. But I know that actually there was this real pull of like, it's in both of your best interests for you to just share this, because there's like magic for you both. Like, there's a gift in it if you can just get over like the uncomfortableness. And who am I to decide that it's more comfortable for you to not know the truth of what I'm thinking and feeling? Like, and what we realized is that absolutely it wasn't. Like, this was the greatest thing that could happen, because now we've both realized like what more of a connection to what we want to do and who we are here to serve. And like, there was almost like a dependency on each other that was then like limiting, like that was dimming ourselves a wee bit. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And so to be clear, I didn't backstory a bit too, because it was funny. I had an experience with someone else, right, where I was witnessing what looked like a codependency and a heaviness that this one person was carrying because they felt obligated to this other person. And there was something in that made me feel really uncomfortable, witnessing this whilst I was holding space for someone else. And I was like, oh, what is that? That's ick. And I thought, oh, that's ick because I'm observing it. And when I sat with it for a bit longer, I was like, no, that's ick because there's something in there for me. And so then I had brought it up with you, like this like realization that I'd had this experience of like codependency, like I need you to do things. I need you to do things to make this work. And it was like, interesting. And so I guess it's incredibly vulnerable to be able to have an insight like this come in and be with it, and then trust that you can share it with the person that it's about, right? Like, and I think that traditionally that's not been very safe for many of us. And so, and the experience of doing that, it's so funny because literally like what we've had a couple of days of discomfort, it would be fair to say. And then when we've come back together to now like digest and to share even further like what this experience has been like for each of us, what we've actually realized was that essentially there was a little catalyst of truth making that occurred that meant some like uncomfortable truths were then spoken, and then we processed it, and what we've done is we've actually just cleared a bunch of stuff that was like murkying the vision and the passion, and in fact almost like stifling a bit of the fire, right? And what we've done is like cleared that away, and
we're ready to burn, baby.
And a deepening of our trust with each other. Like, I think that was also like such a profound part of the experience, is that like, it's so often it's like, oh, this is going to be damaging, right? It's the assumption. This feels uncomfortable, so it's going to be damaging. It's like people thinking that having a boundary or speaking up is going to be confrontational. And it's like,
quite the opposite.
No. Actually, it's invitational, because what you invited by coming here and like, you offered me an invitation to sit and be with an outcome that I probably didn't want to consider. Not consciously.
No.
But then, and it was like, then I, got to sit with that. And then it was like the whole process comes back around to ultimately what I received was, sure, I like kind of cleared some of my own stuff out of the way. But what I received is this beautiful gift from Ash, that she showed me that she can trust me to enough that she can be completely transparent and honest about how she's feeling and what's coming up, and that it's safe to do so.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking special. Like, I don't think I've ever had a relationship like that. Like I said to you, I feel like we've cultivated like 2 decades worth of friendship into 2 years. Like, because we spend a lot of time together, like going deep, right? And like, we've done so much coaching with each other and healing, and like, far out, it's out the gate, like what has happened.
And that's the intention of Chats with Charlie and Ash, right? Was that what we got to experience with each other all the time was these like breakthrough moments and
we need to record this
moments
shit.
And we were like, whoa, dude, this is cool. Like, these are not normal conversations that people share. And I wasn't getting that kind of conversation anywhere else.
No.
And it was like, wow, we wanted to share that so that other people know that you're not alone in feeling some of the feelings around the difficulties in life, or wanting more, or feeling stuck, or whatever it is. And then by getting to be ourselves, by being conversational and about like what we're genuinely doing and going through, is that makes it relatable, so that then, hopefully there's just a little moment where like a light bulb goes on, or there's just a little, like I talk about, like just a little like crack of like in the shell of the story, or of like I'm alone in this, so that just a little bit of light kind of of possibility kind of shines in, and suddenly it's like, oh, okay, there's some hope there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, like I said at the start, the absolute invitation to embody the work. Like that's what I was faced with when all this was coming through. I was like, okay, fucking put your money where your mouth is, right? Like you say you want to guide other women into this. This felt like the absolute test of, well, not test, but like initiation into fully embodying the work. And I took myself through our process, which like our 4 phases of our work, which was like what I was getting was this inner vision, or like a true desire coming. It was gifted to me. I was receiving it, right? Like it's not like I just thought about it and decided it. It was like a from my heart, like it was being gifted to me. Like I didn't, it's quite, but being able to, over these last 2 years, has been practicing letting that come through and trusting it. Like there's such a massive piece of being able to know that if it's in my heart and if I'm hearing it, it's for a reason, and that I can trust it, and to be able to like follow the breadcrumbs of like what, and
not to be
is.
Stopped in your tracks immediately by the first thought that came to mind. Like the sabotage that's like, oh, well, that's going to make someone else uncomfortable, so I'm not going to say that.
Because that absolutely came.
Like, okay, well, look at that. Okay. Is it true? Maybe.
Yeah, and who am I to decide what you make of it? Or like, I don't get to decide your part. Like, I have to own my part. I take full responsibility for my part, and how I even created a feeling or like a space that didn't feel true, like that I am not truly fulfilling my desires, or like whatever. Like it's all owning my part. So first of all, it was like, hearing it, and then hearing the bit that wants to sabotage me. So the bit that wants me to be like, no, you're just making it up. Like that's not really what you want, or like, oh my God, you're going to totally piss Charlie off, or like this is going to be the end, or like all of that, or you're being too much, or like it's too much, or all of that shit. And so sitting with that and like working my way through that, not trying to ignore it and not trying to false positivity my way out of it like you tried to do with your bit. But like actually being with it, like what is here? What part of me feels like that? And what does that part of me need? And all of those things. And then sitting with what came next was more like the trust in what is here? Trusting that this has come for a reason. And it's like, what could become possible from this in this moment of actually speaking my truth? Why the sabotaging part wanted me to believe that it was the end and that it was going to ruin everything, and I was going to have to go and get a job at the Foursquare or something like. But with the other side is what is possible on the other side of this. Like this could be the greatest thing that has ever happened to us. Who am I to decide? And then it was actually taking action and going, okay, it's time to have the tough conversation. It's time to be the version of me who doesn't just back down at the first little road bump. Like, and this doesn't need to be a stop sign. This actually gets to be a go sign. So go. And that's exactly what I did. So it was like those 4 phases, right? And like you said, what's happened is it has actually turned out to be such a beautiful gift. And it's reignited the flame. And it's actually brought up something that probably, maybe not consciously we realised was happening, but unconsciously there was something there for us that we were being called into, you with the interaction that you'd had, and then this happening with me. Like it was something that needed to happen, right? And it's just happened, and it's for the greater good. It was because there was some there was energy, there was some funk getting in the way that needed to be cleared for us to go to our next level.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, it's that playfulness and curiosity that we have cultivated over time, where it's like being able to look at something and know there's a gift in there somewhere. There's something for me that's like, can I trust to go through the mucky bit to know that when you come out the other side, that there's always a gift, right? Like there's always a benefit to it, and it's you can spend a lot of time in the analyzing and going round and round, and the discomfort, right? Because at the end of the day, when you don't speak your truth and you hold it quiet because I don't want someone else to be upset, or I don't want things to, it's still self-abandonment. Like there's still an element there of discomfort regardless. So it's like, choose your hard, right? And it's, I think you've told a story before of like standing on the bridge, contemplating jumping into the water, right? And like how often we stand on the cusp of a change or a decision, and we just keep clinging on, and it's like that creates the suffering, right? The struggle is the holding on, and eventually you let go and you take the jump, and it's like,
that was really fun.
That was awesome. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's not saying, hey, we can't wait for some more like tricky things to come up. It's like, but can we be open-minded enough to know that like when something starts to feel tricky, that there's a messenger. It's a messenger, right? There's something in there to be like, oh, what's happening? And when you genuinely want to create a freedom-based, purpose-led business and deliver something that has impact, we simply get to be the living version of that ourselves, right? Like,
and what I've learned is like you can try and pretend that your truth isn't there, but you actually can't. Like there is no bypassing.
If it's come into your awareness, it is in your awareness.
Yeah.
And there's a big full stop there.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to do with it? And you can pace it and create a lot of struggle and suffering, or you can look at it and do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I was reflecting on this yesterday on my walk, is that it's not that some of us are gifted a truth or a purpose or a passion or a gift or something. Every single human being on this earth, I truly believe, has something. We are here for a reason. Like, I couldn't paint a fucking stick figure. My husband has been gifted the talent of painting like beautiful pieces of art. He doesn't even have any formal training. Like, that's his thing, right? Like, I don't have that. That's unique. His unique gift. We all have something unique. The difference is whether you're courageous enough to actually answer the call, because it's there. I challenge you, if you sit with it for long, if you sit quietly and sit with yourself for long enough, your truth will be revealed, what you're really here for. It's whether you're willing to pick up the phone and take the action. And I think where people get stuck, and where I really got stuck, is I didn't have anywhere to hold me in that. Like, I didn't have, for when this stuff comes up, when this sabotage comes up, there was no place for me to put it. There was no place for me to be held in it. There was no place for me to work through it. I didn't know what to do with it. So it was like, I know there's something else out there for me. This, like, what I'm doing right now is great, but it doesn't feel amazing. And I just like this uncomfortableness, but then I didn't know what to do with that. And until I had you to hold me in that, and that's what we've been doing over the past couple of years, is really creating this environment for each other to work through and like find and explore the real avenue of that truth, right? And play in the possibility. And that is where I believe what we're creating, like, that is my purpose and my passion here on this earth, because I do not want to see another woman who has this much energy and excitement and passion and purpose and a gift that the world needs not express that, because she's being suffocated by the sabotage and not having a space to hold it and move through it and all of those things. And that's like the potency of our relationship that has been built over this past 2 years, is a genuinely safe space to be all of me and to be held and to be seen and to be guided through and supported through all of the phases and seasons and evolutions that I have had on this journey, right?
And guided is such an important word, because it's been an incredible practice to have learned over the last 2 years to not insert my opinion into your process. And I think it is a skill, and it's often it's well meant when people offer up their like views and experience on something, right? So you can go and find 20 sources of why you shouldn't do the thing and be courageous and take a leap and do something and trust something new. It is very difficult, I found, to find a place where you can simply process your own thoughts and feelings and ideas and have enough space and be allowed space to land with your own insight. And I think that's what we have learnt to do, and now, do so powerfully with each other is, and for our clients, is that ability to not paint someone else's picture for them, to not insert your own like experience from the past of your, and again, as I say, well-intentioned often, but it's not what people really need when they're seeking and wanting to find clarity about something that they want to do. It's like, can you sit quietly to move through some of because there's so much magic in there. You get the limiting beliefs that are holding you back, so then you can, we can begin to catalog those and then work back through and test their validity. And you get creative inspiration and ideas to then go and take some action. But if someone else said that exact same thing to you, the ego would block it, and you would immediately begin to come up with excuses and discount that and not end up doing it. And so it's robbing people of the magic of what they can actually do. And it's such a wonderful experience when you get to hold space for someone else and watch them create those insights and tap into the resourcefulness that we all have within us already. We simply need the safe space to sit, the patience to wait and like seek, and then the confidence to go and then take some action and trust that whatever I received is the next step. I just need that next step.
Yeah, because the truth is there is 1 million different ways for you to execute, like to do the doing, to get the strategy, the plan. There's more, like 1 million different ways that you could do whatever it is that you want to do. There is only one truth, and that is inside of you. And so for us, like you say, to go and then say, well, why don't you try this? And it would be completely counterintuitive to what we are actually guiding you to do. What we are guiding you to do is hear your truth, trust it, explore it, move on that, and then see what happens. And then when you do that, great. And then what's next? It's that just feels so aligned and like exciting, because it's not common play to explore, trust, and like receive guidance. And like you say, we are such intuitive, creative beings. Like that is what we're here to do. And this little example of what's happened for us has been the absolute embodiment of the work, and the realization that that is the point. That is how you get a fulfilling, exciting, happy, joyful, peaceful life, is by owning your truth and living in your truth, like being able to be fully alive in who you are and what you are here to create, and letting yourself do it.
Absolutely. Yep. Not jumping into creating the outcomes already, or wanting to predict everything, knowing that you can take one step, and there's no way that the outcome we've received would have been the same. And it would have been an idea that came up in your mind when you were sitting with it, right? Like we don't often consider well, all the various options that could be there. We'll focus on the few difficult negative ones, or like what we've got from our own lens of life, right? And it's like, and that's why we're willing to be so vulnerable to share something. So, because the potency of like actually embodying the very work that we teach and guide people through is that we live it too, and we're prepared to show up and do the things. And sometimes it doesn't feel great, but without a doubt, 100% of the time, there is always some magic, and it creates like more possibility. You know, like it's like something else opens up, and there's like, oh, wow, didn't expect that.
Exactly. I love the saying is that miracles come wrapped in funky packaging. Couldn't be more true. Like that was some funky ass wrap in there, but when we actually unwrapped it, unpacked it, it was like, oh, just what I wanted.
Yeah.
More truth and excitement and aliveness. Thank you.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. And so with that being said, what is the practical part of that has been distilled is that, we're going to transform this into something that feels like both of our truth, and that's what we're going to be delivering next in terms of our next offer, right, which is coming at the end of September.
Yep.
And there's going to be some little warm-up bits into that, so if you're interested,
watch this space. Stay connected.
Yeah, and if you want to be the first to know about it, just send us a message or a DM or an email or whatever.
Find us in all the usual places.
Yep, and we will put you on our wait list and let you know, so you get first dibs on what this magic is. But it's going to be potent AF.
Absolutely. Always.
Beautiful. Oh well, see you on the next chat.